Hello, how's it going, everyone? So this is an underrated tool I've actually been using for over 2 years now to help me with sales calls and also just meetings, coaching calls. So any call that you do on Zoom, this tool essentially records it for you, and then it transcribes it, records everything. It gives you AI data based on what you've said. But more importantly, I want to focus on how you can use this tool to make more money. So closing more deals and just making more money, right? So whether you're doing the sales calls or whether you have sales reps that are doing the sales calls for you, right? So either way, this is going to help you. So if you're doing it yourself, for example, if by the way, if you're not already recording calls and getting it transcribed and getting data on every call so you can see what's going on, then you should at least start doing that, right? So you might be in a situation, for example, I had a client recently, one of my clients right now, who doesn't record any of his calls, nothing. And I got him onto this tool, and I started looking at his recordings. I can see he's talking about 70 to 80% of the call, which is fine in his case, because in his case, he's closing a lot of deals, right? But in many cases, we want it to be the other way around. Now, once again, I always look at the results, right? If he's closing deals every day, I'm not going to mess with it much. But, if you're not closing that much, you're not making that much with your calls, then you're going to want to go with the standard rules, right? In general, you want the prospect to talk more. So you can easily, for example, see here, you can see your words per minute and your talk time. So this is something you can easily measure, right? So, maybe you have a new rep or someone and you go through the calls, you realize they're talking too much. And then you might want to look at these net metrics to kind of analyze the kind of progress, right? Or in your own case, if you're doing calls, maybe you're talking too much, right? Maybe you're at 80% of talking and your client or the prospect is only talking 20% of the time, right? Then what you want to do is easily just, now once again, this is not always the case, but you might have to talk a bit less and let them talk more and answer your questions and see what's going on. But essentially, it tracks all the questions you ask. It tracks any tasks, any metrics, any pricing that you talk about, dates and times, negative words, positive words, neutral words, and more importantly, it shows you. Now, once again, I can't go into the sales calls because there's too much personal data, right? So, but what I can do is this is one of my group coaching calls that I do with my clients where I'm coaching my own clients. Like, once again, it records everything that you do on Zoom. So in my case, when I'm coaching clients, so I had 2 clients on this call, and you can see it gives a high level overview of what's going on, and it gives me notes. All right, and then it also puts action items. So I'm telling my client to finalize his ads and follow up and testing the automations and do all this stuff. So these are all the things I'm asking my clients to do or finish up, or maybe it's my response to their questions. So then it organizes it as action steps. Now, one way you can use this for sales calls is to follow up with a prospect. So let's say you've done a call with a prospect and maybe it didn't close, right? So let's say 1 month goes by, you're going to follow up. You can easily go back here, see the summary, realize, all right, his main problem was maybe ads, maybe it's maybe he needed a new offer, maybe he needed to hire someone, and you can quickly use that information to follow up with the prospect and send him a text, send him a voice note, send him a Loom like this, and kind of get him back in the pipeline. So even if you have sales reps, right, you've hired a salesperson, then you can just use this tool to organize all their calls and expect them to use this tool to follow up with hot prospects that they didn't close, right? So if you have them on a pipeline in high level, in close, in whatever tool you use, they can easily come here, look at a summary, look what happened on the call, and use that to generate summaries. And once again, it generates it for you, but you can quickly come here and kind of make a follow-up message. So this is the tool. The one I use is about $30 a month. That's the plan, the business plan. You can go lower than that. I think it even starts at around $15 a month. But those are 2 easy ways to use it, right? Just looking at the metrics, you have transcripts, you have the video. So even in the video, you can see, yourself or whoever, you can see the facial expressions and you can see how they're kind of handling the call, right? Or even if they have a bad background or whatever is going on, or background noise or whatever, you can easily analyze the call, look at it, see how did you start it, how did you ask the questions, did you have control over the call, and using the information to follow up with the prospect if they didn't buy, which in most cases, you know, depending on your close rate, you know, even if you close half, that's still half of people that didn't buy, and you got to follow up with them. And you can probably even automate a follow-up solution, which I've actually been planning on doing for a while now, which is essentially taking a transcript like this and creating a follow-up message using parameters that we give it, like sales parameters that it kind of plugs into it, and it makes a good message to follow up with them, if you know what I mean. So it tells them, based on this, based on these problems, you should come back and book a call with me, and you know, we should hop on a call again, so that you can close them and get them as a client. So that's what I have for today. It's not the cheapest tool in the market, but it's the one I use. It works, and yeah. So I've used this for more than a year. But yeah, I'll also put a link down. Now that is my affiliate link that you can use to sign up to this if you want. If you want to record your sales calls and your client coaching calls. Once again, I've been using this for maybe even 2 years, religiously every single day, and I've only recently started promoting it because it just works so well. So, but yeah, and let me show you my integrations real quick. So I've integrated with Slack. So if you have Slack, you can integrate it with that. I've also put it with Google Docs integration. Email, so I get an email every time a call is completed, and then it sends me the email. They also have an API. Now, once again, they have all these other integrations which I don't use because, you know, I don't use every software. Even Notion, you can get it to make a document inside Notion with the summary. Once again, I do use Slack, so it sends me a Slack summary with each call, which is really good because you don't have to come in the tool. So let's say you have a sales rep or yourself, you're in Slack, you just finished a call, it sends it inside Slack, and then you can just read the summary inside there and, you know kind of what happened. Yep, and obviously it's integrated with Zoom. That's the easiest one. But yeah, that's what I have for now. And obviously you can add team members in. Let me go to analytics real quick. Yep, so questions asked, filler words, monologue, silence duration, so sentiments, talk to listen ratio. Once again, I look at the data because once again, one of my clients partners, his ratio is very high. He talks a lot in the calls. But then again, we are selling B2C, and most of these people, they need more education, so he has to talk more to explain different parts of the program, to explain different things. Whereas opposed to like B2B, the client speaks more so you can understand the problem and give him precise answers and really understand the situation more. Whereas B2C, they need you to kind of convince them and put new beliefs and thoughts into their head so they can kind of come into your program, right? So yeah, because B2C is a completely different mindset. So you want to see, kind of test out what works for you. I'm not saying everyone has to have a higher, what's it called? You know, having the prospect talk more than you. It's not always the situation. Always look at the data. But in different situations, it's different. So always use your own judgment as opposed to just looking at the numbers. Because like I said, my client, we're closing deals every single day. And he talks a lot in the calls. But once again, it is B2C. And there is people who kind of need some information and explaining to really understand, like more than normal. As opposed to B2B, I might just show some clients some results, show them some proof. They're asking all the questions, they're doing all the talking. And they'll sign up because it's very simple to understand and kind of move forward. You can also upload your old ones. So if you have old recordings and whatnot that you need to transcribe, you can upload them in here for free. By the way, that's actually for free, which is quite good. And yeah, that's all I have for today. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll put the link down below. That is my affiliate link, and I don't really get anything out of it, I don't think. But I'll put it down anyway, and I'll see you around.